What's going on, guys? I was out shopping yesterday and I was in the charity shops and I found these two things. So I found some small little baubles and I found some kind of foil fake snow. And I thought, why not make a skull, Christmas themed skull? So I bought these two things. I've got my skull mould. This is from the range. I got a candle kit from the range. It came with this little skull mould. So we're going to test this out. I'm going to fill it with the baubles. I'm going to mix some of this in some clear resin. Might put a little bit of white in there, see how it looks, and then we're just going to pour it into here and we'll see how it's going to turn out. So let's get into it. Right, so I think I'm going to start with the baubles and see how many I can fit in here before I start mixing anything, because I don't want it to start going off while I'm working. These were probably a bit more expensive than just buying them on Temu or on Amazon or anything like that. But it's a charity shop, I don't mind paying a little bit extra to go towards charity. What I do think will be a problem will be these tops, because these are just like a little spring loaded clip that goes in there. So what I'm going to do probably is get some UV resin and seal this up. I'll probably cut these strings off as well, but I'm just going to see how many fit in here first and get a rough layout of how I think it's going to look. And I'm probably going to go over the top and fill this as much as I can. That way I'm not using a lot of resin and it's not going to go off too thick, because the resin that I've got is a 2-to-1 mix. It's designed for up to 50mm pours. I think that's probably about right. I mean, this is only, it's just over 50mm. I think it's 60mm, just over 2 inches. Yeah, I think that'll do. So what I'll do is I'll get to work sealing these up so the epoxy isn't filling the baubles, and I can save some that way, and it's going to reduce the risk of bubbles. There's probably going to be bubbles in there anyway, and I don't have a pressure pot, so we're just going to see how it goes. Right, so the resin that I have is this UV resin by Vida Rosa. I got this from Amazon as a tester, and I'm using my partner's nail UV nail pen thing, so it just shines a UV light. It's USB rechargeable, and it's great for little things like this, so you don't have to have a big light. So I need some scissors. Some school scissors will do, right? Chop all these down. Right, that's all the strings cut off, so I'm hoping I can just put a blob in the centre, get that cured, and then a bead around the edge here, and that'll do the trick. Let's see. I'll have to get another bottle of this resin. I got 3 bottles of it originally. Just to have a play with, really, because I'm not super into resin, but you know, I'm starting to enjoy it, so it's going to be something for me to learn. Just cure that up, and this little lamp cures them up pretty quickly, to be honest, especially if it's not super thick. Oh, there's a blob going down there. I'm sure that'll be fine, because once it's in, the resin that's surrounding it will pretty much make that go invisible. Yeah, that's pretty much set up. So this does cure the resin pretty quickly, that little lamp. And we'll put a blob in the top here. Come on. Cure that up as well. This might be a two-stager, don't know. No, that'll be fine, it looks like it's covered. And then I'll drop that in the mould. Boom. I'll do that with the rest of them and then I'll come back to you. Alright, so I got all that done. Everything is below the base, so we should be alright. I don't think they went in as well as the first time. I got my UV lamp at the end and I put it on top while I was doing the other ones just to make them all cured up anyway. Some of them have actually stuck together, so they're in as they are, that's how it is. Yeah, so let's mix up some resin with this fake snow, put it in there, and we'll see how it turns out. That's mixed up. I'm just using a spatula I cut out on the laser. I thought I'd use it well for mixing, but this side I did way too big, so I'm just using the other end. And I'm just going to throw some of this in until I'm happy. I don't know how much I'm going to put in, probably a decent handful, I'd say. Let's see how that looks for now. Let's put that much. Hopefully this stuff doesn't react to the resin. I don't think it will because it's like the it's like a plastic foil. I think that should do. I don't want too much, but I also don't want it completely clear. I want to be able to still see the baubles. Might be too much, I don't know. Yeah, but it will also hide any bubbles that come through. So I might take the top 3 of these out and then pour this in and then put them back in, just so I can squidge around the bottom and make sure everything's in. Okay, so yeah, let's get to pouring, shall we? Very gel-like, so hopefully I can get this in squidged around. Might have put too much of the snow in there. I think I got just the right amount of resin there. Good guess. Do not think that is sinking all the way to the bottom easily though. So I'll give it a good squidge up. I might leave the other few out, I'm not sure. Let me give it a good squidge around and see. Possibly a big air bubble down there. No, it's the worst that can happen. Right, I think we're leaving one of these out. Oh, don't make a mess. And then just setting that like that. It's a little bit low, but I can come back with the UV and just dome the top bit, possibly, and get that leveled off. I think it's full. Now, what are you doing up there? Get down there. Behave. Are they trying to float? Or is it just me messing about with it? Should I just leave it? I think I need to leave it, don't I? Okay, we'll leave that, let it set, and then we're going to come back, demould it, and see how it looks. Hopefully it turns out okay. No idea how it's going to turn out, but yeah, that's what we're here for. Let's test it. Get it all cleaned up. I'm going to clean up around here while this is curing, and then we'll come back, we'll demould it. So yeah, see you soon. Right, so this is pretty much all cured up now. It's all pretty hard. Top's pretty hard, but it's really rough, and also below this surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with some UV now, and I'm going to fill this in, and I'm going to cure that, and then we should be able to demould it. So let's go. So that looks like it's full to the top now. I'm just going to give it a quick blast with my lighter. I've got one of those jet ones, but it's on very low, and I just go over quickly. Just to try and get them bubbles off. It's the bottom, so it's not really that much of an issue. Worst case scenario is a sand it flat, and then yeah, go from there. Don't think my UV lamp was going to sit high enough, so I might have to get inventive with some of the spare bits and pieces that I've got around to get this high enough. Give me a second. Yeah, so that's the height of my UV lamp, but if I fold them in, is that just high enough? I've got two of these pots. Yeah, so we're about that much off there, so that's good. Yeah, so those fit onto there. It's about 6mm, 1/4 inch off the top, so that's good. Might do them that way. That gives me more coverage. So I'll let this sit, I'll cure it up, and then we'll come back, we'll demould it, and we'll see how it looks. Right, so that is cured. The outside's a little bit sticky, but we'll be okay. I think I might have been a bit too close with the UV lamp, because it's taken on this squared pattern. You see that there? Underneath. So I am going to have to sand this smooth anyway. Get some gloves on, because I think the outside's still a bit tacky. Yeah, so the outside, this little thin layer of resin that ended up dribbling out when I was putting the baubles in. That's not fully cured. Still very soft, so just tidy that bit up. It's a good thing this is silicone, it doesn't stick to it, so let's see what it's like. I've not demoulded one of these before, so I don't know how easy or difficult it's going to be. There we go. It's not too bad actually. Come out alright. You got all your Christmas baubles at the back. A lot of the flaky stuff came to the front. I think I used a bit too much flakes, but it still looks pretty decent, still pretty good. Mould. I had the mould inside out. I was like, what's all that inside the mould? It's all the stuff on the outside. The inside's nice and clean. But yeah, turned out really nice. What I will do is I'll sand this smooth, and then I will probably just leave it like that, to be honest. I might put a bit of spray varnish on to make it look a little bit nicer. Overall, it's turned out pretty good. Right, so here's a few shots of it on the turntable. I think this turned out pretty nicely. It does look alright. I did sand off the bottom and put a bit of spray varnish on there. The glossy colour turned out really nicely. There's a tiny little mark on the top where one of the hooks on the bauble was sticking out, but that's no here nor there. This was a practice run. is something I'm completely new to. So if you've got any tips and tricks for me, just leave them in the comments down below. I'm willing to learn and improve myself with everything that I do. That's what this whole channel is about, it's a learning experience. I tried to get some shots in the dark with this, but my camera just did not pick it up. It looked pretty cool with the light shining through it. It didn't shine all the way through because of how many baubles were in there and how much of the flakes I put in, but it still looked pretty cool. The camera just did not pick it up and didn't do justice with this at all. So if you like this kind of content, then please hit that like button. If you want to follow along and see my journey through all kinds of different crafts, including resin, lasering, woodwork, things like that, then hit that subscribe button. Truly grateful for everybody that subscribes. You're all absolutely amazing, and hopefully I will catch you in another video where I do some more resin and I learn from more stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you then.